It feel like it actually feel like a home run, like when someone hit the bat and it just right on the target and it go far. It just like that. So that's how I feel when you actually hit somebody on the button and you know that you catch them real good. So that's how I feel for me.
I only got 3 words for the super haters and naysayers. You from New York, SMD.
How do you block out the naysayers and the people and their opinions they have of you?
They don't matter to me at all, especially the ones who think I'm not a worthy opponent or whatever the case may be. 9 times out of 10, you don't know shit about boxing. I got here without them. I'll still be here without them. You can't do anything that I'm doing on nowhere near close to my level, so I really don't care. I really don't give 2 flying.
The rivalry between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach isn't just unfolding in the ring. It's playing out in full force on social media. Both fighters have been using their platforms to take subtle and not so subtle jabs at each other, keeping fans engaged and tensions high in the lead up to their fight. Before we dive in, do me a quick favor. Like this video and subscribe. 98% of you watch without subscribing, and it helps a ton. Done. Awesome. Now let's get into it. It all started when Davis posted footage of his intense training sessions, showcasing his speed, power, and relentless focus. Not long after, Roach responded with his own training clips, some even mirroring Davis's drills, almost as if to send a message that he wasn't intimidated. This back and forth sparked debates among fans, with many dissecting every movement, comparing who looked sharper and more prepared. But the exchanges didn't stop there. Davis, known for his brash personality, has been vocal about his confidence, often implying that Roach is out of his league. Meanwhile, Roach has taken a more calculated approach, letting his work do the talking while occasionally throwing in a few pointed comments that suggest Davis might be overestimating himself.
It's been great, man. I've been working my ass off. I've been putting myself through hell, putting myself through fire. Also, for March 1st to come out victorious.
Adding fuel to the fire, both fighters have liked and shared posts questioning their opponent's ability, with Roach even responding to a fan comment, suggesting he would expose Davis. Some believe this psychological warfare is a strategic move, both fighters trying to get inside each other's heads before fight night. As the fight draws closer, the mind games are only intensifying. Whether these exchanges will have an impact once they step into the ring remains to be seen. But one thing is clear, the animosity is real, and neither fighter is backing down. The anticipation for this fight is reaching a fever pitch, as Lamont Roach, the reigning 130-pound champion, prepares to step up to 135 pounds to challenge the undefeated knockout artist, Gervonta Tank Davis. This move is no small feat. Roach is entering a weight class dominated by some of the most dangerous punchers in the sport, and Davis is widely regarded as one of the hardest hitters in the division. Despite the risks, Roach remains unfazed. He has openly acknowledged Davis's power, even calling it respectable, but he refuses to let it define the outcome of the fight.
I'm not necessarily stressing a knockout, but as you know, as I've been saying, this entire press run, this entire media run, I'm trying to knock any and everybody out. So if the opportunity presents itself, I'm going to take it for sure.
Instead, Roach has emphasized his own technical skills, ring IQ, and disciplined approach as key factors that will neutralize Davis's explosiveness. He believes that Davis, while powerful, has never faced a fighter with his level of patience and precision, someone who won't recklessly walk into danger, but will instead systematically break him down over the course of the fight. Adding even more layers to this already intense matchup is the historical rivalry between their hometowns. Baltimore and Washington, D.C. have long been neighboring cities, with a competitive edge in sports, especially boxing. Fighters from both areas have clashed in the past, and this fight represents another chapter in that storied history. Davis, a proud Baltimore native, has carried the city's boxing legacy on his shoulders, while Roach sees this as an opportunity to put D.C. on top.
The IQ, the skill level, just being the overall cerebral assassin in the ring. He ain't never been in there with someone like me up to date, you know what I'm saying?
Their battle isn't just about personal glory, it's about city pride, and neither man wants to be the one who walks away with a loss. As the fight inches closer, analysts are debating how Roach's strategy will hold up against the sheer firepower of Davis. Some believe Roach's slick defense and counterpunching ability could cause problems for Davis, who has often relied on opponents making mistakes. Others argue that once Davis lands clean, the size difference will be too much for Roach to handle. One thing is certain, this fight isn't just another title defense for Davis, and it's not just another opportunity for Roach. It's a statement, a chance for Roach to shock the world by dethroning one of boxing's biggest stars. A moment for Davis to reinforce his dominance and prove that he's levels above the competition.
Necessarily, but it is a little get back that I gotta get, for sure. For sure.
Tension is building, the stakes are high, and when the bell rings, all the talk, all the mind games, and all the history will come down to who wants it more. Lamont Roach Jr. isn't just stepping into the ring hoping for an upset. He's coming in with a carefully crafted strategy, built around avoiding the same mistakes that have doomed Davis's past opponents. Fighters who face Gervonta Tank Davis often fall into one of two traps. They either fight recklessly, leaving themselves open for Davis's signature counter left hand, or they fight too cautiously, allowing him to dictate the pace before eventually walking them down and finishing them. Roach refuses to fall into either category. Instead, he plans to approach this fight with patience, discipline, and a level of composure that few of Davis's previous opponents have shown. His camp has studied Davis extensively, identifying patterns in his movement, tendencies when he's under pressure, and moments where he's most vulnerable.
That's a goal of mine. But regardless, I mean, after I win, I'm going to defend that both until I feel as though I can't make 30 no more.
Roach believes that his ability to stay sharp, even under the relentless danger that Davis presents, will allow him to exploit openings rather than simply survive. One of Roach's biggest assets is his boxing IQ. He isn't just a tough fighter, he's a thinking fighter. While Davis thrives on explosive knockouts, Roach is prepared to disrupt that rhythm by controlling the tempo of the fight. He's been working extensively on lateral movement, ensuring that he doesn't stand directly in front of Davis for too long. The goal is to make Davis work harder than he's used to, forcing him to chase and expend energy instead of setting up his usual power shots. Roach's team has also emphasized defensive sharpness in camp. They understand that a single lapse in concentration against Davis can be fatal, so they've drilled constant head movement, upper body feints, and disciplined foot positioning to minimize the risk of getting caught flush. While Roach isn't known for his knockout power, his ability to counter effectively and wear opponents down over time is a major part of his game plan. Perhaps the most important element of Roach's preparation, however, is his mindset. Confidence isn't just something he's projecting for the cameras. It's something he genuinely believes in. He's not walking into this fight with the attitude of a challenger looking for a lucky punch. He's stepping in as a champion who sees himself as every bit as skilled as Davis, if not more. Everyone's afraid of his power before they even step in the ring. Roach recently stated in an interview, "That's why they lose. They're already beaten mentally. I respect his abilities, but I don't fear him. I trust my skills, my preparation, and my heart."
Just getting ass. That's the key. Staying in control, though. Staying in control, that's the key.
I'm coming to win. This unwavering belief in himself is what makes Roach such a dangerous opponent. He's not just here to survive or put on a respectable performance. He's here to dethrone one of boxing's biggest stars. And with a solid strategy built on movement, discipline, and controlled aggression, he just might have the tools to do it. Gervonta Tank Davis stands as one of the most feared punchers in boxing today. With a flawless record of 30 wins, 28 by knockout, Davis has built a reputation as a relentless finisher who doesn't just defeat his opponents, he dismantles them. His combination of raw power, elite counterpunching, and patient fight IQ allows him to systematically break down even the toughest challengers. Unlike some power punchers who rely solely on aggression, Davis is calculated, often luring opponents into mistakes before delivering a devastating, fight-ending shot. What makes Davis even more dangerous is his mental warfare inside the ring. He has a way of making opponents question themselves, hesitate on their punches, and second-guess their strategy as the rounds go on. Even when facing skilled boxers, Davis finds a way to impose his will. Fighters may start out strong, but as they feel the weight of his punches and the pressure of his relentless stalking, they begin to crack.
What is he in for this Saturday night?
A rude awakening. A rude awakening for sure. He just doing what you have to do, trying to psych yourself out for the fight and things like that, but
Time and time again, we've seen Davis absorb early offense, make adjustments, and then turn the fight in his favor with a single explosive moment. Despite his dominance, not everyone believes this fight is a guaranteed victory for Davis. Some experts acknowledge Roach's defensive discipline and boxing IQ as potential obstacles. However, many remain skeptical that Roach can last 12 grueling rounds under Davis's firepower. One of the most vocal critics is undisputed welterweight champion Terrence Crawford, who recently expressed doubts about Roach's ability to handle Davis's relentless style. "Roach is a good fighter," Crawford said in an interview, "but Tank is a different kind of beast. You can have all the skill in the world, but once you feel that power, everything changes. I don't see Roach making it through 12 rounds unless he fights to survive." Crawford isn't alone in this belief. Many analysts point to Davis's past opponents, fighters who entered the ring with confidence, but left either knocked out or battered beyond recognition. From Leo Santa Cruz to Ryan Garcia, many high-level fighters have fallen victim to Davis's signature power and patience. The common theme: they underestimated the mental and physical pressure that comes with standing across from him. However, Roach remains unfazed by the noise. He refuses to be intimidated by Davis's knockout streak or the doubts cast by boxing's elite. In his mind, this is an opportunity to expose flaws in Davis's game that others have overlooked. He believes that if he can avoid playing into Davis's traps, if he can dictate the tempo, stay disciplined, and take away Davis's confidence, he has a legitimate path to victory. "Everyone talks about his power like it's some mythical force," Roach said recently. "But boxing isn't just about who hits the hardest. It's about who can control the fight. If I don't let him set up his shots, if I make him uncomfortable, then what's he gonna do? People assume he's unbeatable, but no one is perfect. I see weaknesses, and I plan to exploit them." Roach's confidence is admirable, but it's one thing to have a strategy and another to execute it under the pressure of a knockout artist like Davis. Critics argue that no one has been able to neutralize Davis's power yet, and Roach isn't a defensive wizard like Floyd Mayweather or a rugged pressure fighter like Isaac Cruz. If Roach isn't able to back up his words with action, he could find himself on the receiving end of one of Davis's highlight reel knockouts. Just when fans thought the fight was locked in, Gervonta, Tank Davis sent shockwaves through the boxing world with a cryptic post on Christmas Eve, claiming the fight was off. Without any prior warning or official announcement from promoters, Davis took to social media and wrote, "The fight is off. I'm done." The message immediately went viral, igniting speculation and confusion among boxing fans, analysts, and even Roach's camp. Was Davis serious? Was there a contract dispute? Was he pulling out due to injury? No one knew for sure. The timing of Davis's post only fueled the drama. Christmas Eve is a time when fighters are usually locked in, focused on their upcoming training camp, and ready to begin the hardest phase of preparation. But for Davis, unpredictability has always been part of his persona. Whether it's last-minute social media outbursts, cryptic statements, or past incidents outside the ring, his erratic behavior has often left fans guessing. Some took his post as a legitimate cancellation, while others dismissed it as Davis playing mind games, either with Roach or with the public.
All right, guys, here we go. We're moving.
Take, knock him out!
All right, folks, watch out.
Take, knock him out!
The speculation spread like wildfire. Lamont Roach and his father, Lamont Roach Sr., quickly stepped in to calm the storm. In a direct response, they reassured fans that the fight was still on and that nothing had changed from their side. "Don't believe everything you read online," Roach Sr. stated in an interview. "We're locked in. We're in camp. If Tank's got something going on, that's on him, but we're preparing for fight night." Roach himself seemed unfazed by Davis's post. Instead of engaging in the chaos, he doubled down on his preparation, using the moment as further proof of why he believes Davis can be rattled mentally. "This isn't the first time Tank has done something like this. He plays these games, but I'm not here for that. I'm here to fight." Despite the reassurance from Roach's camp, rumors swirled that there were behind-the-scenes issues that could threaten the fight. Some speculated that Davis was unhappy with contract negotiations, while others theorized that he might have been trying to bait Roach into a reaction. There were even whispers about possible injuries, though nothing was confirmed. Davis's unpredictability is both part of his appeal and a source of frustration for fans. While his explosive talent in the ring is undeniable, his off-the-ring behavior has often left fights hanging in uncertainty. Whether it's legal troubles, weight concerns, or last-minute drama, he has a history of making headlines in ways that have nothing to do with boxing. For promoters and networks, this adds excitement, but also risk. For Lamont Roach Jr., this fight is more than just another title bout. It's a chance to redefine his career, prove himself against one of the biggest names in boxing, and cement his place in history. Winning a world championship was always part of the plan, but defeating Gervonta Tank Davis would elevate him from a respected champion to a household name. Roach knows the stakes. He's stepping into the ring against an undefeated knockout artist, a pay-per-view star, and a fighter who has dominated every opponent he's faced.
Tank, do it for a parlay. Please. Do it for a parlay. Knock him out. Knock him out. Hey. Knock him out, please. Nah, that's wicked, bro. Knock him out.
Davis isn't just another champion. He's a global sensation with the kind of star power that few fighters ever reach. Beating him wouldn't just be an upset, it would be career-defining. It would change Roach's life forever. But for Roach, it's not just about fame or financial success. This is about respect. Despite being a reigning 130-pound champion, Roach is often felt overlooked in the boxing world. Many critics see him as a solid, skilled fighter, but not necessarily a superstar in the making. A win over Davis would silence the doubters and force the world to recognize his talent. "I'm not just here to fight," Roach said in an interview. "I'm here to win. I'm here to prove that I belong at the top of the sport. People don't see me on the same level as Tank, but after this fight they will." The motivation runs even deeper than that. Roach fights for his family, his city, and the legacy of the great fighters who came before him. Coming from Washington, D.C., he carries the pride of his community every time he steps into the ring. The historic D.C. versus Baltimore boxing rivalry adds even more fuel to his fire. Beating Davis wouldn't just be personal glory, it would be a victory for his entire city. His father and trainer, Lamont Roach Sr., has instilled in him a mindset of discipline, resilience, and a deep belief in his skills. They've trained for years, preparing for this very moment. Roach Jr. sees this fight as a culmination of all the sacrifices they've made together. The early mornings, the grueling workouts, the setbacks, and the moments when the world doubted him. But beyond all of that, Roach fights for his legacy. Boxing is full of talented fighters who never got their defining moment. He refuses to be one of them. If he beats Davis, he doesn't just win a fight, he writes his name in boxing history. "I want my name to be remembered. I want people to talk about this fight years from now. This isn't just another fight for me, it's my moment." As the fight approaches, the question remains, can Roach rise to the occasion and shock the world? If he does, he won't just be a champion, he'll be a legend in the making. As fight night approaches, fans and analysts alike are debating how this showdown will play out. Will Roach shock the world, or will Davis continue his reign of dominance? Roach's path to victory. The perfect game plan? For Roach, victory hinges on discipline, movement, and avoiding the pitfalls that have doomed so many of Davis's past opponents. He knows that once Davis gets into a rhythm, he becomes nearly impossible to stop. That's why Roach has made it clear. He wants to keep the fight in the center of the ring, controlling the pace, and refusing to let Davis dictate the action. His plan is simple on paper, but incredibly difficult to execute. Maintain distance, avoid reckless exchanges, and stay sharp for all 12 rounds. Fighters who have rushed in against Davis, whether it was Ryan Garcia, Leo Santa Cruz, or Rolando Romero, have all paid the price. One mistake, one lapse in judgment, and Davis can end the fight in an instant. Roach believes his boxing IQ, footwork, and defensive sharpness will allow him to avoid Davis's signature traps.
Yo, Tank, knock him out, bro. Go for the fight, wipe him.
He plans to stay on his toes, use angles, and never give Davis a clean shot. If he can frustrate Tank early and force him to second-guess his attacks, Roach might just have a chance to pull off the upset. But there's another factor at play: Roach's resilience. Many of Davis's opponents crumble mentally before the fight even begins. They step into the ring already intimidated, already expecting the knockout. Roach, however, has exuded confidence from the moment this fight was announced. If he can survive the early rounds, build momentum, and keep Davis from landing clean, he could push the fight into deep waters. And if that happens, anything is possible. Most experts, however, believe this fight will follow a familiar pattern. Davis has built his career on breaking opponents down, studying them in the early rounds, and delivering a brutal knockout when they least expect it. Despite his reputation as a knockout artist, Davis is patient. He often starts slow, feeling out his opponent, adjusting his strategy, and looking for weaknesses. It's not just power that makes him dangerous. It's his ability to read his opponents and capitalize on their mistakes.
You just got wit. See, he's a good fighter, but I'm coming with what I'm coming with.
In 2011, he won. We was 1-2 in the nation. Now we fighting to see who's the best in the world, and we doing it for a large amount of money.
Many believe Roach will have some early success, moving well, landing jabs, and sticking to his game plan. But as the fight progresses, Davis will start to close the distance, apply pressure, and set up his devastating left hand. Most predictions see the fight ending somewhere around round 7 or 8. Davis has a habit of letting fighters build false confidence before shutting them down with a highlight reel knockout. Roach may be tougher than some of Davis's past opponents, but if he can't avoid the power shots for a full 12 rounds, the result could be inevitable. There's another interesting wrinkle in this fight: the rematch clause. If Roach pulls off the upset and hands Davis his first professional loss, a second fight could be on the table almost immediately. Davis's star power means he won't disappear after one loss. He'll come back with a vengeance. A rematch would be massive, likely generating even more hype than this first fight. But for that to happen, Roach has to defy the odds and do what no one else has done: beat Gervonta Tank Davis. As the boxing world waits for the opening bell, the only certainty is that this fight will answer a lot of questions. Can Roach execute the perfect fight and shock the world? Or will Davis remind everyone why he's one of the most feared finishers in the sport? One punch could change everything. Okay guys, for the best updates on boxing news, moments, events, and actions, subscribe to Knockout Updates and turn on notifications to never miss out on quality content, and check out our other videos. Until next time, peace out.